What is good? What is good? What is good? September. I put the wrong date. I wrote the wrong date down. September 4th. It's September 4th already. We just started. It's already September. How everybody is doing? We got some stories, man. We got some stories. We got some stories, man. We got some stories. I'm more excited. Yes, we're live streaming. I do that every time. It's like telling me. We got some stories. The last two headlines, we need to talk about it. It's a must talk about conversation at the dinner table. It's a must talk about conversation at the dinner table. Yes, indeed. Yes, indeed. We gotta talk about this. We gotta talk about this. We gotta talk about this. As we were setting up, we got stories, man. But you know, your boy got schoolwork. Hour and 30 strong. Hour and 30 strong. Could go longer, but we gotta play it right. We gotta play this right, balance it right, do it right, do it right, do it right. As my strength and conditioning coach used to say, do it right, do it light, do it wrong, do it long. Whew, they give you chills right there. Them days in that, oof, that weight room, boy. Where is it? As y'all see, I'm just looking for it, never finding anything I need. Come on. Gotta hurry up for the people come in. Oops. We gotta hurry up for the people come in, man. We gotta hurry up. Gotta hurry up. We gotta hurry up. We gotta hurry up. All right. Boom. Boom. And we will have a video posted for you tomorrow, guys. A video will post tomorrow. It will post tomorrow. Disclaimer: the videos presented here are for informational purposes only, and therefore, if you are to choose to attend the institution, please do your own research and consult with a specialist at the institution you are interested in. I am not a financial aid specialist, academic advisor, or representing any institution. Speaking on behalf of Creator, Henry is only speaking from his experience. Okay? So, now that we got that out the way, and disclaimer, I am not a financial advisor, because we are going to talk about something that is really interesting. We talked about it before, but we're going to have to talk about it again because another school doing it. And the only other school doing this is Grand Canyon University. Let me make sure I'm showing up a little blurry on here. All right, y'all can hear me there. And then Wi-Fi, strong. Let me see something right quick. And then refresh. Make sure I'm not blurry. Look, I'm still showing up blurry on y'all end. Let me connect back. Let me see. I'm gonna refresh it. Just want to make sure I'm showing up clear real quick because I'm checking, well, really troubleshooting right now. Making sure I'm showing up clear on y'all end. Who wants to look at fuzz? We already don't got the best equipment set up yet. Who wants to look at the fuzz? Let me see. Come on. All right, that looks better. Yeah, it looks better. All right. We look good. Look good, feel good, play good. You know? Yeah. All right. First thing first. Everything has reversed on the Trump administration. That is the first and foremost. Is that good news? It's good news. It's good news for a lot of people. It's bad news for some people. Nonpartisan. But they said good news, according to our source, Chronicle Higher Education, according to them. Yeah. So, first things first. It says right here that Trump it says Trump turned back. They could have came up with something a little better. But it says that a federal judge just reset wealthy colleges' negotiations with the Trump administration. And so the Chronicle's Eric Ketterman reported. So Eric Ketterman reported this. It says a strong victory. Federal judge says Harvard should have billions of research dollars restored. So a federal judge, which means, well, we all know the current administration, they don't play nice. So they might appeal it. They might, if they can appeal it, they probably try to appeal it. If they try to, they probably won't give up the money right away. If we know the current administration, they probably not gonna do it. They can be like, so the federal judge, so the federal district, something happened with that. It says that I'm gonna read the first paragraph, then we're gonna get back to the main hit points before we start reading, through articles and breaking down things. But it says the federal district court in Massachusetts gave a nearly complete victory to Harvard University on Wednesday, ruling that the Trump administration was wrong to terminate more than $2 billion in grants and contracts in April. Remember, we were covering that. We was like, man, this going on. Trump administration, like, boom, they ain't giving it. They holding research money, and we like, Harvard got the money anyway. Harvard has the money anyway to hold. Like we can withstand this pain, but it will build over time. So the judge restored it. Judge Allison D. Burroughs awarded summary judgment on nearly all counts to Harvard, finding that the government had violated the institution's rights under the First Amendment and under the Civil Rights Law of Title 6, 5, 6, 1. That should be 6, Title 6. So, who is Judge Allison D. Burroughs? What if she went to Harvard? Let's see. Sometimes you gotta put some sense to it. Let me look it up. I want to keep that up. I got some tabs that I have to look into, guys, and I don't want to. You don't want to close out a tab because I got plans to look into this. Sometimes. Okay, yes, she's a lawyer. Of course, she's a judge, so she was a lawyer. She studied they said she studied at Penn Carey Law, and UPenn, as we know it, or Penn, I believe, UPenn. And she also studied, allegedly, to Google. And they say she also studied at, Google also is stating that she studied at Middlebury College. I never heard of Middlebury College. It's out there in Vermont. Interesting. So she, humble beginnings for real, to become what she is, a federal judge today. So, yeah, that got turned around. It says, at the heart of the case, Burroughs, if I said it right, I'm saying it right. I don't want to be saying, because it's not Burrow, it's Burroughs, like a burrow, like thorough. It's like a Burroughs. I want to make sure I'm saying that right. Allison. Judge Allison. Yeah, that's what it sounds like, Burroughs. That's what they're saying. There are 25 pronunciations for Burroughs. Wow, that's a lot. I've heard nothing yet. Now you say it.
Burroughs.
Yeah, Burroughs. Okay, we were saying it right, yeah. Just making sure. Like, calling nobody out their names. Trying to make sure I say it right. One thing about me, you gonna know I tried. You gonna know I ran it through the Google or something before I say your name. Because I know my name is simple, but yeah. So it says Burroughs ruled that the government explanation for canceling the grants that Harvard had done too little to respond to. It was what we said before, because Harvard and anti-Semitism, things of that nature. And allegedly, the Trump administration claimed that they did a little to fight that bad. But this ain't really our topic and our lane, but we got to cover it because that saves Harvard. If that means if Harvard, which is considered a wealthy and Ivy League college, they get their funds back. That means they can keep doing research, which is better for us as a country. We can do our research and progress. It's always good, and it helps possibly bring in research fellows, bring in research, not research instructors, but bring in more professors. Probably, depending on what you need. All you need to know that grant, that research money and grant money, that $2 billion can do a lot of things. That can actually hire some professors under that. So a lot more things though. That's just on a small scale. But it says right here that the Trump administration wrongfully or wrongly terminated more than $2 billion in grants and contracts to Harvard University, as we just said. It says a federal district court in Massachusetts ruled on Wednesday. It says it's a potential legal watershed for or after Columbia and Brown universities opted to settle with the Trump administration rather than challenge it in court. So Columbia and Brown, they decided to settle, right? But they could have just challenged it in court like Harvard did. So I wonder that since Columbia and Brown settled, or is it done and too late for them to go back and try to go to court like Harvard did? Because Harvard went and fought and won, which happened pretty fast, actually. No, I'm thinking about it. That happened really fast. Even though they did it back in April, it got done. The judge made a decision now in September. It's kind of interesting. So, fighting anti-Semitism wasn't the government's true concern. It says it was not the government's true concern. Judge Allison D. Burroughs wrote, even if it were, combating anti-Semitism cannot be accomplished on the back of the First Amendment. They're saying that fighting anti-Semitism was not the government's true concern. Interesting. So what was the true concern? So I was gonna keep reading. They're once again saying that Burroughs awarded summary judgment to the university on nearly all counts. So Harvard they won on nearly all of their counts, finding the government ran a foul, pretty much a inappropriate way of administrative procedures and civil rights law in addition to the First Amendment. Burroughs also awarded summary judgment for Harvard's American Association of University Professors chapter. Like Harvard, the AAUP challenged the Trump administration's decision to freeze and terminate grants. So Harvard fought back and won. They say Harvard be going, they do make all the lawyers, so I would assume they would win. So that's good to see some justice. So, the ruling is a victory for Harvard and President Alan Garber, who has promised to fight anti-Semitism but maintained that the government should not control instruction, hiring, and research. Yes, because we all believe in academic freedom. As a person who's educated, academic freedom means a lot. To be able to talk about things in the schoolhouse, of course, that there's things you could talk about in the schoolhouse, of course, that you can't talk about today in the public, which makes it a little more rewarding to get a college education, because a lot of things that people talk about on the media today, most people have their perspective, right, which is granted, which is why I like doing this with you all, is that we get to have get to say our different perspectives. I'll read it out, of course, if you have a perspective, because I feel like today people state their own opinion perspective, but they never include others. And as a fair education ground, it's good to let people get their voice out and let them say their piece. They need it. They need it. All these podcasts, oversaturated things, it's making podcasts an oversaturated market. People don't really get to speak their perspective, even the educated people. Shout out to my educated people out there who went and got their education, started a 2-year, bridge to a 4-year, and you get your master's, or you went to law school. Like, stay in there, man. Hopefully you can find this channel and build a community. So they say right here, I don't see how Harvard could have asked for more, said Scott Oh, I don't know how to say that last name. Scott. I'm gonna put it in the chat for y'all. Schneider. If I say that right. I'm butchering your name. I'm butchering your name. All right. I'm butchering your name a little bit. Scott. Where are you at? Scott. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. I got it. Haha. Got that freaking whatever it is. Got it. Got it on first try that time. Ain't gonna be impressed. Scott Schneider, if I said it right. I put it in the chat, but a lawyer who works with colleges and who is the former general counsel of Tulane University. This is a strong victory, robust victory for Harvard and for higher education writ large, or writ large, like WRIT large. So it says that Trump is now negotiating from a weakened. They said Trump is now negotiating from a weakened position. Legally, at least, it's a pinch because some conservatives were already pushing the White House to take a harder line in the talks with colleges. Because, to be honest, right now, the Trump administration did do a lot of damage to colleges already. Because, like I said, we just spoke on that the Trump administration now wants like 600,000 Chinese students, right? Or as I like to say, 600,000 Asian demographic students, because they came out of nowhere. But it comes out of nowhere to people, who wasn't following it, but we've been following closely. It was definitely timed, I feel like. Personally, I feel like it was timed because school is in session now. And then at least that news came out, like, I'll probably say a week or two after we started school. For all my people out there who are in college right now, shout out to you for starting college. Stay in there. If you need to come talk about college and you need some motivation, this is the place to come. If you need to just have this on and you might have some questions just to motivate you while you're doing schoolwork, because to my real ones out there that really doing that schoolwork, I know you're probably up to about 11, 12 a.m., 11 p.m., 12 a.m. So we got you. And so, but they're saying that, yeah, the conservatives are wanting to push for the White House to take a harder line in the talks with colleges. But the conservative activist Christopher F. Rufo panned terms proposed by campuses on social media on Tuesday. Rufo accused a lobbyist of derailing discussions and posted that if Trump folds to the Ivies, higher ed reform is dead. It's a bit extreme. Who is Christopher F. Rufo? I don't know who that is. Let's Google him real quick. Him or her. Let's see. Christopher. All right, it's a he. Christopher F. Rufo is an American activist. According to Google, Christopher Ferguson Rufo is an American conservative activist, New College of Florida board member, and senior fellow at the Manhattan Institute of Policy Research. He is an opponent of critical race theory. Interesting. He actually they say he went to Harvard. He went to the Harvard Extension School. He went to Georgetown. And he went to... Alexa, do not turn on. Alexa, turn off music. Alexa, turn off music. Alessa's gonna play that music, guys. Your boy's gonna get a copyright strike. That's interesting. He's against critical race theory. It's interesting. Huh. Never heard this guy. I think I have heard of him. You know, you come across and read about people. Let's keep going. Interesting. So, like I said, guys, everybody has their views, Republican, Democrat. And so, where's higher education reform is dead. Higher education reform been dead, personally. Christopher Rufo saying higher education reform is dead. Higher education reform been dead. Unless somebody really gonna take some strong and strategic actions. And to make some real change in higher ed, you should go study higher ed, I feel like, or be very experienced and savvy about higher ed. Because people making higher ed reform decisions never worked in higher ed. So how can you make a higher ed reform decision if you never worked in higher ed? It's like, you know, like some coaches have basketball experience. They actually played the sport, but they eventually just like, I think I'll be better as a coach because I'm not gonna be over 6 foot. So since I know I'm not gonna be over 6 foot, I know I need to be a coach or preparing to be a coach. And so some people might know, like, hey, I might not become a college president, so I could be better behind the scenes. Prime example. But this guy, I don't even think he ever worked in higher ed. I think he just went to school, of course, in higher ed. Be very interesting to bring him on, though, to get his perspectives. Christopher F. Rufo. Interesting. So it says, but wait. This is far from the final legal say. It says the Supreme Court recently ruled in a separate case that grant cancellations must be challenged in the U.S. Court of Federal Claims. So it must be challenged, which means if I hear challenged, that means it has to get reviewed, go through it, some more person. Okay. It says, and a court order to restore existing grants was not universities' only consideration. Concerns have run high that the Trump administration might not award any new grants to institutions that don't fall in line. That is true. The Trump administration is not playing. They will withhold grants if you're not complying. That is true. It's hitting hard fast, guys. It happens at the executive level. Yes, sure, brother. It's happening at the executive level, but it's definitely trending down pretty quick. But indeed, the Trump administration counterpunched. It says in here, in an unsurprising turn of events, the same Obama-appointed judge that ruled in favor of Harvard's illegal race-based admissions practices, which was ultimately overturned by the Supreme Court, just ruled against the Trump administration's efforts to hold Harvard accountable for rampant discrimination on campus. Maddie, I quote, that's in quotations by Maddie Biederman, I believe I said it right, Deputy Assistant Secretary for Communication Strategy at the U.S. Department of Education, said in a statement, cleaning up our nation's universities will be a long work. Cleaning up our nation's universities will be a long road, but worth it. It will be a long word, a long. Why keep saying a long word? A long road. Worth it? I don't know, because I don't know personally. I don't know what is the mission to clean up universities. I don't know if Maddie Biederman, because I have to factor in if you're a conservative or a Democrat before I see where you're trying to go with this, because the Republicans' ideology is getting rid of like the transgenders in sports, getting rid of critical race theory, for example, getting rid of anything that's like really indoctrination of what they don't agree with. And that's not really my definition of cleaning up universities. My definition of cleaning up universities is that we fix like the structure. I know like if an institution doesn't want to fix the structure, they can do that. They don't have to, and they can keep running things on a broken fundamental, and eventually probably close down or have to keep firing employees, because I personally wouldn't work at no college if they're running things on the broken fundamental, because if you're running things on broken fundamentals, that means that university cannot pay me properly. But somehow they can still pay and raise people's pay somehow still, so I don't get that. But I don't question those things. I just state what I feel and what might happen to the school. If nothing happens to the school, I could be clarified as wrong, or when they start laying people off, I could take partial credit. I guess I feel like if it was class, I would. So Maddie Biederman, I don't know how long she's been in her role, but she's not that known because she's not even. On Google they'll pop up like if a person is known, they'll pop up like what school they went to and all this good jazz. I don't see anything for Maddie really. Let's see here. This is on LinkedIn. Because politics is so embedded now. Like I just got to know what they like when she said this person right here, Maddie Biederman said like cleaning up universities will be a long road, but worth it. Uh, I don't know what she mean by that because I don't know. And then she works at the U.S. Department of Education, I believe now. Yeah, she works at the U.S. Department of Education, but we don't know exactly. And this was 7 months ago on LinkedIn. So it says, congratulations to Madison Biederman on your well-deserved appointment as Deputy Assistant Secretary for Communications and Outreach at the United States Department of Education. They are lucky to have someone with your talent, experience, and dedication to empowering parents and advancing excellence in education. So I don't really know. Because you can work at the Department of Education and still be Democrat or Republican right now. You just can be like flying under the radar. So I don't know. Interesting, but she popped up in the Chronicles of Higher Education. So that's always interesting, right? Next topic. Well, we still here. So they saying right here that the bigger picture. Wednesday's ruling may lift. Right here it says the bigger picture. Wednesday ruling may be a lift for those who want higher ed to fight the Trump administration. But it does not change the fact that Harvard could face a long, hard slog if the government chooses to appeal. I just said that too. Did not know that was going. So I was following this story, right? Because I was like, just because they won now, Trump can immediately like appeal. And you have to remember, guys, the White House or that executive level, they got unlimited money, pretty much. So they can keep going to court. Harvard, on the other hand, they got the money too, and they can keep going to court, but they have to last. They have to last until they gotta last 3 more years of this. Well, we haven't hit a year yet, so they still gotta last technically almost 4 years of this still. So Harvard chose the fight. I can respect that. And so they won one, they might lose another, they might win another one. But as long as they got the lawyers on hand saying, look, as long as you back us, we won't charge you. Because we believe in what you're doing. And Harvard, like I said, Harvard got them lawyers on deck. I know they got the lawyers in the school, but they probably got to do some outsourcing. So, and it only increases the scrutiny college leaders face. Like if Harvard, let's just say this, if Harvard struggles to be like, hey, we need some more money, like we kind of burning through money to go to court, that can be hard for other schools. Like you got to think about the smaller schools that really don't got that money to be fighting like that. And it says, will they choose to explain to unhappy never Trumpers? Will they choose to explain to unhappy never Trumpers? Never heard of that. To unhappy never Trumpers why they are negotiating with the administration, even though the legal wins seem to be at their backs? Or will they risk spurring the president and enraging a volatile, wounded White House? That's the question. That's a little lot. I will put it in the live chat because the way they worded it. Of course, you don't let me put the last little bit in there. Let me see. And I start that president. So my overall thoughts on that, right on schedule too. So my overall thoughts of that is personally, where is it? Is this right? Oh, that's the story. My thoughts on that is where is it? on increased leaders face. Will they choose to explain unhappy never Trumpers while they're negotiating with the administration? So my thoughts on this is that I think I lost what I was going to say. I think I lost what I was about to say. I know what I was about to say, but I think it went blank. The unhappy never Trumpers though. I don't know what that is. I don't even know what's an unhappy never Trumper personally. But it's not over. Government definitely will keep coming at Harvard and many more schools that don't fall in line. And what's up, G? I did see your message, G. What's good? And so after we go from that, it is interesting. Because next week we could hear that, oh, the appeal, rules in favor of Trump administration. You know, I don't know what they call them, the White House or Trump administration. Then Harvard could be reappealing as well, and they just keep going back and forth, and then it just keeps going. But right now, Harvard won, which is interesting. Other schools should probably fight too, because dang, the White House can't be printing that much money, can it? They print a lot of money. But I did want to say this real quick. This is another story real quick from, I believe, yesterday. It has to do with my graduate school. So some institutions are, this is about AI. On the sidebar, it says how AI is showing up in the syllabi. They say syllabus these days. I'm going to say syllabi. So some institutions are at least providing simple language for the syllabus for my students out there. If you are in college right now or plan on going to college, for my students, you need to pay attention to this because it is showing up. It's in my syllabi right now. It is in my syllabi. It said AI use is prohibited. So it says right here that some institutions are at least providing sample language for the syllabus. Georgia State University now offers instructors examples of syllabus statements that align with its academic integrity policies. It suggests 3 basic options. Artificial intelligence use prohibited. All submitted work must be wholly your own, produced without AI assistance. AI use permitted only in certain cases. Do not use the tools unless the instructions for a particular assignment do not use the tools unless the instructions for a particular assignment, activity, or assessment state otherwise. AI use permitted unless stated otherwise. Go ahead and use the tools unless the instructions for an assignment, activity, or assessment explicitly differ. Okay, pretty much don't use it unless we give you permission. That's all they should have said. Do not use AI until we give you permission. That's exactly what they're saying. Don't use the AI unless they give you permission. That's not me. That's schools that are doing it per Chronicles of Higher Education. You know me, guys. I'm like, am I using AI in school right now? Not right now. I haven't used it. In school. And in school, I haven't used it. But definitely, I use it when my instructors have a typo or they, sometimes, even though these are doctoral professors, they sometimes don't flow their sentences right. It happens, They are managing multiple classes, so sometimes I have to get some assistance to break this sentence down. So G said, so that's plural for syllabus. That's the wrong move, but I understand. The more they reject AI, the more irrelevant they will become. Yes, indeed. It says plausible deniability. That's it right, G? Dang, you said plausible. Plausible deniability. For the record, Henry never uses AI in his classes. Henry never uses AI in his classes. Undergraduate never use AI. Then you use it for sure. Graduate school, I did say this semester. I haven't used it yet. But graduate school, I used it. Not on the paper, but definitely to break down sentences. And so because it's the future. Like, all right. I know you agree with it, G. Like, we should use it. Or I feel like you would agree with it. It's weird to say my job is open to using it. Like my job is like use it. Hey, if it helps, blah blah blah, da da da, blah blah blah. Because a lot of people don't know how to use it, which is crazy. Like people don't know how to use ChatGPT. First and foremost, AI was up and coming when I was in college. Yeah, we said that before, and then because you was like, yeah, it was even around when you was in. I'm pretty sure we was in college around the same time, G. And so, or at least undergraduate. That's because it's crazy not to use it. It is. It's crazy not to use it. Like you have to think. I'm trying to keep up with the clientele. Clientele, people these days, they want answers like, and sometimes like people don't have patience no more. So like some people will email you, and if you don't email them back in a certain amount of minutes, that's how you know when people on social media too. Because people on social media are so used to instant responses that if you really want to, I'm gonna give y'all some game real quick. I'm gonna give y'all some game. If you really want to make somebody mad on social media when they comment, just read the message and don't say nothing for probably 5 minutes. I guarantee you, within 5 or 10 minutes, I can't guarantee you, but within 5 or 10 minutes, they're going to say something else in the comment section if you don't respond. 5 or 10 minutes. It's crazy. It's crazy. How I know that? Because when I did one of my videos, one of my live reaction videos, the one with Yo Gotti, and it got a lot of reaction because I initially intentionally said, "Oh, he's a billionaire," and I know he's a multimillionaire. And then everybody, the people were giving me like really bad comments, like they were going at me. And one person got so upset because I didn't respond to the comment that they kept commenting. And they were talking to themselves. And I kept reading it because I was trying to see what was their psychology and what's going through their head. And so people in general are attention seeking, and social media is a good tool for that. Yes. And so that person just kept talking to themselves, and it was really interesting. It was really interesting. So that's my advice. But AI, from my perspective, if they say as a scholar, if your instructor is telling you to not use it, don't use it, guys. Um, but use it if you don't understand something. Do ask AI to, hey, AI, help explain this to me, because that's gonna be a lot of that in the future, as we know. That's gonna be a lot of that, and that's just part of academic freedom, guys. I think they deep down know like they gonna use it regardless, but they're just doing what the higher ups who don't understand AI, they probably call it A1 state sauce or something. You know, the higher ups usually who make all the big bucks, they are the ones talking about something. No, I don't let them use it. You know, they don't too much care. Like, so that's my perspective. And if they want to say something, they know they can come to the platform. We can talk about it. G said, G said they wanted you to acknowledge them for sure. They did. And then G said, worse, they knew you saw it and just didn't respond, which what makes people. She said, worse, they knew you saw it and just didn't respond, which makes people angry. Yeah. And most people don't really use or know AI, which is crazy. The fact that people know and don't, most people really don't use or know AI is letting me know, oh, bro, I am setting myself up for the future. Like, G, I ain't even gonna tell you no story. You know, when I asked you for that advice, G, on like learning through the job, I already got some workshops set up with my job. They're actually offering like a 2-day workshop with AI, like setting up prompts and stuff to help with our workload and working. So, and it's free. It's free. So I'm doing a whole bunch of that. And then now I'm gonna do a lot of signing up for things too. Cause I'm trying to get in on it. I'm trying to get like AI savvy, real savvy. And then G said, what G said, well, more specifically, a lot of people don't know they use AI. Ooh, that's a bar. That's really, really cool. A resume filler. Yes, for sure. Thank you, actually. Dang. You right, G. I need to put that. I didn't think about that. That could go on my resume, huh? If I need it. You know, we keep doing this and keep going. If I need it again. But, yeah. Just thought about that. Appreciate that. Didn't think about that. So, G said Siri uses AI in the back. Google as well. How long you think we've been using AI, G, and didn't know it? Was it when we got the Alexas? Was it when we got the Siris? When do you think we really started using AI and did not realize it? Before we go to our next segment. G said some customer service, while mostly automation uses some AI in the back. Oh, so that could have been bad. If I'm gonna take a guess before you say it, that could have been back in like the 80s or 70s that we started using AI when we got the automations. So when you think we started using it? Like first started using it and realize it. Nice. Make sure you put it on there for sure. So when G says that, guys, we are going to talk about Northwestern University. Northwestern University president resigns. Once G tell us, G said, well, I wouldn't go that far back, LOL. G said, I wouldn't go that far back. Just saying, just saying, So Northwestern, this surprised me. It was breaking news today. I got this. I scooped this up. Chronicle Higher Education didn't even mention this, which is crazy. Northwestern University president, first automation in early 2010s and later part of 2010s. Okay, dope. Northwestern University president resigns. Michael, I do not know how to say this man's name. His last name, Michael Squeal. Squeal. It's like SCHI. It's like squeal. Like it's like it would like you would spell school, but squeal. Yeah, like let's see. And I'm gonna look that up because that last name I gotta know how to pronounce that. Squeal. School. Like, come on, man. You're supposed to make my life easier out here. Let's see. Shill. I pronounced it like that because the SCH, I'm thinking of school. That's how you spell school, SCHOOL. So I'm thinking squeal. But it's chill. Sound like chill. Sound like the S is silent. It's not. G said it's not squeal. That's how my head be, G. My head be like, hey, you say school like this, you gotta say it like this too. That's how my head work, but I know it don't work like that. But that's what goes through my head. So Michael, we're just gonna call him President Michael for Northwestern University. Northwestern University school is pronounced the same way though. Man, I don't know, man. See, me and my girl, we argue about this all the time. She be get mad at me. I'm like, don't get mad at me because grammar doesn't make sense to me sometimes. Don't get mad. I don't know why my brain operates like that. You have to go talk to it. Don't poke it, just talk to it. So President Michael from Northwestern University, he said, you said school right. I hope I am. I hope I am saying school right, G. They had me in school forever, so I hope since pre-K to now, I hope I can say school. And so I might spell school SKOS. How they say SKOOL? Might spell school that way if they tempt me. So President Michael, Northwestern University, announced his resignation. Why did he resign? Resignation. Why did he do that? Take the first part at ill, and that's how you say it. So squeal. It sounds like squeal. It sounds like school, something like that. It sounds something like that. Oh my goodness, G. See, G, we be at the meetups. People gonna be like, is he doing this intentionally? I'm like, look, guys. One of the things about this brain of mine, when it comes to pronunciations, it is not intentional. This brain right here, it's a very creative and different thinking brain, but it has its cons. Most things that people don't struggle with, I struggle with. Most things people, that's how my brain works. Most things people struggle with, I don't struggle with. But that's all right. Most things, the most like normal things in life and most things that are easy to people, I struggle with a little bit. Yeah, if I had to put that in perspective. But things that are hard to people, things that are really hard to people, I don't struggle with. Yeah. That's how I perceive everything. Like, some people might say life is hard. I feel like life is simple. You know, some people feel like, prime example, and the scrimp, like, speech. Yeah, Steve Scrimp. That's how you say scrimp right there. There you go, G. That's how you do it right there. That's how you say it right there. See, now you getting the lingo. We're doing some bad advice on pronunciations and lingo, but we don't have no speech therapy people in here yet. So we gonna have to until my speech people come in the chat and be like, oh no, you need to no guys, this is how you do it. G said my cousin was like that growing up as well. See, this is how we all be relatable. Guys, it's okay to mispronounce words sometimes, guys. Everybody's not professional word talkers. The thing about me though, I'm gonna display it for you because I'm not perfect. I'm not perfect. And G said a lot of people are like that, especially in the South. Especially in the South. Especially. So I'm on Northwestern. It's a diphthong. So like something with the tone roll or something like that. I'm assuming that's what you mean with diphthong. I feel I need to Google that and learn that because G be knowing stuff. Shout out to G. G be knowing stuff. And so we're on the Northwestern University. We did do a review on Northwestern University, guys. They have a great return on investment according to the College Scorecard. Yeah, they have a great return on investment if you go here. They're pretty pricey though, but they have a great return on investment. And so it says right here, Northwestern University's 17th president steps down, which is Michael, the one we're talking about. The intern will be named, but let's see if the school tell us why he's stepping down. So it says he announced that he would step down from presidency of Northwestern University, concluding a 3-year tenure that saw continued success across the university's 3 campuses. It says record fundraising and a steady rise in national rankings of the best universities in the country. Okay. Are you going to think why he's leaving? It says he also acknowledged the myriad challenges. That's it, all right, myriad. G over here still talking about this. It's a linguistic technical term that is sometimes. Well, we come. Hold on. What is? Is it? Did I say that one right? Let's go. We got another word. I think I said this word right. I think it's called myriad. That's good enough. Did I say that? Oh, you already heard me when I said it. Did I say that right?
Myriad.
Oh, myriad. Okay, perfect. Myriad. Okay. So he also acknowledged that myriad challenges. What is myriad? Hold on. What is the definition of myriad, actually? I ain't gonna say I never saw that word. Myriad. Meaning. G, let's see. G probably was typing it. A countless or extremely great number. Okay. Yeah, I have seen that number before. I definitely saw that number in math. It says in arithmetic. He also acknowledged that myriad challenges, including ongoing federal research funding freeze and other issues. So he stepped down because of ongoing federal research funding freeze and other issues. This is interesting. Just looked over it because it's hard, LOL. What's hard? Myriad. You have heard it before, I'm sure. Just looked over it because it's hard, LOL. Yeah. But why are they having funding issues? It says so I'm quoting the president. As I reflect on the progress we have made and what lies ahead, I believe now is the right time for new leadership to guide Northwestern into the next chapter. Setting the message from the president. Therefore, in consultation with I have decided in consultation with the leadership of the board of trustees that I will step down as president. So the school is not giving us. Let me see. Right before I say that. They say he'll continue to work on the board of trustees. The university's frozen federal funding restored. Efforts to get the university's frozen federal funding restored. They're praising him for his leadership. See, the school website, they're not giving us the real spiel. And that's why we always got to go back to the news. I'm going to see what G said real quick before I go to another news. G said, wow, he probably just got a better gig, and this is his political public facing response. Yeah, we finna see. Let's go to the Guardian. Guardian is pretty good with independence, but the Guardian is pretty good at covering stories. So right here it says president of Northwestern University quits amid layoffs forced by Trump cuts. As I told y'all, them Trump cuts ain't no joke. So it says that the president, Michael H. Squill, led the institution for 3 years, during which the Trump administration slashed nearly $800 million. It says the president of Northwestern University said Thursday that he was stepping down. Right, that's what we said. Oh, okay. It says stepping down because he had like some turbulent clashes with Republican lawmakers and steep federal funding cuts under the Trump administration that forced widespread layoffs. Because we did just talk about Northwestern University doing big layoffs. I covered it again on the last live stream, just in case if I wasn't sure if I did cover it. And Northwestern, and I was surprised. I believe that's why we covered the school, because we was like, dang, they doing a lot of cuts. And then, because I remember you was on that live screen, G, and I was like, well, man, they doing a lot of cuts. Why they doing a lot of cuts? And then the school had a great return on investment. They charge a lot to go there, though. But, yeah. So I guess he was too liberal. But he definitely was bumping heads, because he could be a Republican. Because some people need to remember that it's Republicans and Republicans going at each other. It's Democrats going at each other. And so we don't know what the real reason is. All we know is that this president of Northwestern University was going at it with the Trump administration or Trump. So it's best for him to step down. I'm essentially assuming that it's best for him to step down because he doesn't want the school or the students to keep suffering. And I keep telling you guys that it's very important when schools don't get their federal funding. Like, yeah, the school might make a lot of money from tuition from students and parents, but ain't nothing better than that federal money, because federal can give you like literally unlimited money to do a lot of great things. So, but when they don't have that federal money, they got to let people off. He don't want to keep seeing people lose their jobs. And then G said, when dealing with Trump, who can kiss the ring wins. Exactly. So you have to acknowledge, like I talked about this behind the camera a little bit, like people got to really be like, look, it's going to be some sacrifices made. Like you can either go fight the Trump administration, but your institution might not be behind you on that. Your institution might say, look, I get what you're saying, but look, he can take our funding, which can hurt our students, and our students can go to another school. And then that's that part. Like schools like, look, yeah, we can fight all day, but at the end of the day, we're going to be losing students. We're going to be losing faculty. We're going to be losing staff. Hey, we can't keep doing this. You either got to step down or, like G said, kiss the ring. So G said some other stuff too, because we cooking now. We cooking. The Guardian is giving us what we need. Shout out to the Guardian right now. G said, or have enough money to go to court like Harvard. Exactly. And I was just talking about that before you came. I was like, if you got the money to keep going to court, keep going to court. But hey, them costs add up. And you got to do this for like another 3 years. You got to do this for another 3 years. And that's a lot of money. And college is already running like I told you, an average college, like the ones I go to, I ain't gonna say they average, but I'm just saying like compared to Ivies, it's kind of at least compared in everybody's view. My schools are average. I don't think they're average to me, but they're average. So they don't got the money to keep going to court. You see, they quiet. Pay attention. A lot of schools are quiet, real mute, real like we ain't saying nothing. We following all the little like, oh, change the name on this. We don't even want no problems. Just change the name. Hey, don't come over here. That's how they doing things. Like, that's how they doing it. Georgia Tech is pretty cool. Georgia Tech, Georgia Tech, man, they've been chilling. Like a school like Georgia Tech, they wouldn't get hit by the Trump administration. They could. I ain't gonna say they wouldn't, but they could. But Georgia Tech is like very liberal, very inclusive, and it's like in there. Like Georgia Tech is like literally like built on like advancing with like diversity. It's literally in their core values. That's what I want to say. It's in the school. So if you try to tear that out the school, you're gonna break the school essentially because it's in the school. And G said, I had a really, really smart friend seriously consider it. Yeah, oh, that's dope. That's dope. It's a lot of people there. And I do want to mention some guys. On the serious note, if you are a parent who has a kid that is like, they use the word spectrum sometimes, but if you have a kid that is autistic, I would say, in some form or fashion. Like, I don't know if this kid, like me and G talked about it recently. I don't know if this kid was a genius. I don't know. But he was really wicked smart. I wish G was there. Because G, he did something on the computer, G. It was a simple PDF. He did something where, like, I see it all the time. Like when you download a document, it's a PDF. But if you change the name in the document, and sometimes that it doesn't display as a PDF, and then when you try to click on it, it doesn't. It was at Georgia Tech, and then when you do it, sometimes it doesn't display properly. So he simply did he just put the PDF. He did something, man. Damn, I wish I remember. He did it so fast, and he explained it back to me, and like he was so wicked smart that he didn't have no filter either. Like he would tell you like if you're talking too low, you need to talk louder. He would tell you that it's people like that go to that institution, guys, just to be FYI. So if you think your kid is not able to go to, like, I know people who think their kid can't go to a big school like that, and they can. Like, the kid was wicked smart. And then G said, I love how non-computer people find things like that wild, LOL. Man, it was wild because he changed the document, G. You know what I'm talking about too, probably. He changed the document. I love a no filter nerd. Yeah, he was no filter, straight like, hey, talk louder. Like if you told him don't open the door for nobody, he wasn't gonna open the door. No matter if he saw you, like it could be me, but if I left my ID badge, he wasn't gonna open the door. And so people make me mad because some people don't understand that how people are different. People don't understand that, and like you have to know, like that's when I knew my communication skills were very good, because some people couldn't explain to him, they couldn't explain tasks to him properly. So I knew how to go step by step on, like, he is a step by step person. Like if you skip a step, and like it's as simple as like, hey, you need to put this highlighter in the bin and close the bin. But if you say put the highlighter in the bin, he's gonna put the highlighter in the bin, and he's not gonna put the top on it. Detail. So I admire that. Like I said, Georgia Tech it's a great job. No, it's a great place for students. But working there, another story. That you can go look that up online. That's all I'm gonna say about Georgia. Working there, you can look it up online. And then G said, that sounds cool. Is he really young? Very. He was very, like, fresh 18. Fresh 18, probably. Yeah, fresh 18. Fresh 18. Fresh 18. A lot of young people are actually like that. Really? That's interesting. This is interesting. That's interesting. Whistleblower? No, no. Northwestern University. It could be you, G. It could be you. Yeah, see, my cousin is like that, the one in college. Dope. You just keep getting interesting by the day, G, huh? You just never, G, you never cease to amaze me. You keep getting better, man. Like and subscribe. Like and subscribe. She's not on the spectrum. Okay. 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 You seen them? You never seen them? Hey, man. Hey. Man, who say YouTube? Man, who say building a community ain't dope, man? See, then you can have these conversations and everybody understands. See, that's why I'd rather just take my time, build it slow, bit by bit, because man, this is gonna be a dope community. Like this is gonna be a community, man. Like you gonna be mad if you come in here and you're not keeping up. You gonna this community gonna make you go to college. This community gonna make you like, hey, you need to go and read some stuff. Hey, like, hey, you need to go. We ain't saying you got to go to college, but you need to educate yourself a little bit. And then I know G said something else before I start back. She isn't extremely intelligent, but smart and very step by step. Very step by step. Yes. And some people are like that. I'm kind of like that a little bit. That's how I could relate to him a little bit, because I'm good at reading people, like talking to people generally, but if you give me something, I kind of want some steps. Then I can get creative and change it up if I feel like it's a shorter way. And G said, which is, I believe, is an environment thing. Interesting. It's an environment thing. So as we keep going about Northwestern University president stepping down, I appreciate that, G. I love those conversations. That's why I get sidetracked and talk about them, because I love them. Let's keep going. So the campus, Northwestern University has had, I believe, I believe Northwestern University had protests over, they had protests as well on their campus about the war in Gaza. I believe they had some problems with that as well on their campus, and he had to be a president for that as well. He acknowledged that the difficulties in his resignation pointed to the freeze on federal research funds among other other challenges. So federal research funds being frozen, of course, give us something new. We read that on the school website. All right, this sounds interesting. Michael Blake, a former Democratic National Committee vice chair and graduate of Northwestern, posted a strong objection on social media. Northwestern alum, don't be silent. Our president is resigning because of GOP pressure, and accusing our alma mater of being I just said this word, anti-Semitic. I just said that word, and I can say it. I just said it. Having a brain moment right now. Don't say it, G. I'm having a brain fart right now. Not my computer's having a brain fart too. It's beeping. Why is it beeping at me? Don't talk back to me, computer.
Anti-Semitic.
There we go. I don't know why. I just said it multiple times. I don't know why I had that problem. All right, anti-Semitic. Yeah. So G said you would be. Okay. G said come on now. You would be hard pressed to find a liberal school that didn't have a Gaza protest. I won't say it. I really it's interesting because my schools didn't. Like you said, now you got me thinking, was my school liberal now? Because when that was going on, let me see. When that was going on, I didn't, at least because I'm a graduate student, I don't think my graduate school, I don't think they did. They did. It was when we were going to see I was going to an event. It was a Kamala Harris event. It was a Kamala Harris event, and they were out there protesting. Actually, I take it back. I did see it. I did see it. I did. I had to go back in my memory bank for a second. I did see it. I did see it. I did see it. I did see it. Colombia has a very large Jewish population and is aggressively liberal. Yeah, y'all. I heard. I think what school was that? A school when they were protesting on the campus, they broke into the school library and stuff. Okay, I was like that. And so, it was a school. I think it was Columbia. Was it Columbia? The students were breaking into libraries. They were breaking into classrooms. They were doing some stuff. And so, I still got this up here. Anti-Semitic. Yeah. So they said, finishing what that this alum said, this Northwestern alum, our president is resigning because of GOP pressure and accusing our alma mater of being anti-Semitic, which NU is not. While the federal government withholds funds for black causes, racist, in quotation. Boy, they be coming hard on these. This is a long post. Wow. Which in yeah. And then stand up. It says stand up for the current cats and those who come before us or come behind us. He posted, referring to the Wildcats nickname of the Northwestern students and alumni. Others were pleased with Northwestern president resignation. Republican Congressman Tim Walberg of Michigan, who also serves as chairman of the House of Education and Workforce Committee, said in a statement, President, I'm gonna just call him Northwestern President, will leave behind a legacy of not only failing to deter anti-Semitism. That's what it was. I was just saying anti-Semitism on campus, but worsening it. These students not only deserve better, but the law requires it. Northwestern's next president must take prompt and effective action to protect Jewish students from the scourge of anti-Semitism. I quote. That's by Republican Tim Walberg. And he said that right there. That's the last part with that scourge word. And then G said the Guardian doesn't like Trump. And so and then G said, oh, okay, it was Columbia, but other schools did it too. Okay. G said, hold on, it was other schools breaking into libraries and stuff. Like, yeah, we did it, but hey, y'all some rebels. I was like, bro, breaking into libraries, y'all different. I was like, breaking into libraries is crazy. And then you said Columbia has a history of that kind of protest. Okay. But like I said, it's hard to find a school that didn't have a protest. Yeah, a lot of them was protesting. And then G said their donation message, I believe, still has his name in it. And then G also said that Columbia has a history of that. Okay. A famous one was 1968. Ooh, 1968. I know what was going on around that time. So that was the Guardian. Guys talking about the president. So now we know why the president of Northwestern resigned, because of GOP pressure, geopolitical pressure to be exact. And so this will be the first of many. Like I said, guys, you're gonna see a lot of presidents. This is our topic, so you're gonna see a lot of college presidents resigning. How does that affect you as a parent or student? It really won't. It really won't affect you. It really will not keyword not affect you. In this case, if they are resigning, it can help. But then again, it could hurt if your school ends up bringing in, because I didn't think this mattered, but it matters, like the Democrat or Republican or Green or whichever type of president they believe in. These presidents have political views. I did not know that. as I started the live streams, or when I first started making videos, I didn't know politics had, because the goal, like I said, we are nonpartisan, but I was like, man, I ain't talking about no politics in higher education. Why? Because I'm like, it has nothing to do with education. Education is education. We all have. I feel like that's where you go to think for yourself. And now I'm feeling like, dang, you can't even go to college and think for yourself. Some colleges are literally embedded, as I said yesterday, not yesterday, but the day before yesterday. Colleges Tuesday. Colleges are embedded in a certain agenda. I just wrote a paper on that in school. Not a paper, but I had to write like a good. Man, you might as well say a paper. It pretty much came out that paper. I had to write a paper pretty much about or a page about that happening with the University of Florida president, and we covered that story. We covered that story. We covered that story on live, and so I had to cover that. I just said, well, I already covered this story. Let me actually dig into it, and that. Of course, we knew this already a little bit because we live streamed, but I covered that story saying like that President Santa Ono had to Santa Ono. So what actually happened? Santa Ono, the president who was supposed to be the president at University of Florida, he was actually going to be president. He got voted like unanimously. Like everybody wanted him at University of Florida, but when it went to like in Florida, it has to go to like the university system of Florida. Pretty much, that's my way of putting it. Pretty much the higher up who pretty much polices the universities. When it went to them, they overrided that. Hey, look, he can't be the president at the university. So then they ousted him, and like he was already like getting settled on the campus at the University of Florida and everything. Then they said, yeah, he can't be the president, and it was like, why? Pretty much, and then they were like, because he's not conservative enough. And then that's what really opened me up at that time when we was live streaming, guys, and starting out, that like, oh, politics is really embedded in higher education. And I didn't know that. That's when I was like, okay, we're nonpartisan. And then G said, yeah, the governor selects the board and the board does the final selection of the president. Yes. And so, yes. Something you probably should mention to a graduate in higher education, right? Because I'm pretty sure most people don't know that. It's people in higher education, as we speak, G, that don't know that. They don't know that. They don't need to know that unless they climb in the ladder and they want to go higher. But it's a insult to their intelligence, because if they have dreams of climbing and moving up in higher education, now they're going to be like, why am I not climbing? So everything they can be posting on social media right now can be hurting them to potentially become a higher up in an institution. So if you're in higher ed on social media, just posting everything, speaking your peace of mind, depending what side you on, it can hurt you. But not all systems are like that, though. Yeah, not all of them are like that. Because I believe, I can't speak for Georgia. I never really looked into it, but I don't recall, like, for example, when a university president, have I been at a university a president was coming in? I haven't been at a university. It's been high executive level people, but it's always been based off the campus, like the campus trustees or the campus, like whoever they put together to interview this high executive level employee who's coming to the university. Because I remember on my time at my 4 year when I was working there, they were bringing in people, but they had to win over, like, sometimes they let you vote. They let staff vote if they want to. You have to win over the staff. Of course, the people on the board who's bringing you in to interview. But I don't think in Georgia, I don't think in Georgia it go like Governor Kemp has to say. Never really heard anything about Governor Kemp denying anybody, but it's on the research. So I can come back and say it on the live stream like Georgia. But yeah, in Florida though, G said the Board of Regents still has the final selection. Yeah, the Board of Regents. Yeah, the University System of Georgia. Yes, but I was thinking like if the governor, I don't think the governor's in it like that. Like, because, the governor runs the stuff usually. And you said, and he picks the Board of Regents. Yeah. See, that part I didn't know. I didn't know the governor picks the Board of Regents. I didn't know that. But one thing I did know is that I was telling people, I was like, I believe the university system of Georgia is heavily Republican. And like you said, the governor picks the board of regents, and I didn't know that, so that was bad on my part. But like I say, we all learn because we learn it now, and so I did not know that. So I'm not gonna say everybody is Republican on that board, but I'm gonna say it's probably a high probability of it because the moment when you probably noticed too, when that's why it's conservative. Yes, because when Trump did the everyone needs to go back to office mandate, the university system of Georgia was following that agenda. So everybody who works in the university system of Georgia, I don't know if they actually. We heard they were doing it. I don't know if they actually had to follow through with it. I was leaving at the time, so I don't know. I'm not part of that no more. So I don't know what was the gist of it. So but they definitely were following that agenda from the Trump administration, and that's why I'll be like, look, guys, it start at the executive level, and it's going to reach the state, and then it's going to reach local. It's so crazy. I learned that in undergraduate. Shout out to undergraduate school. Shout out to Valdosta State University on that. I learned executive, judicial. Oh, that's that right? No, I learned my executives, my state, and my local levels. Ooh, on judicial. I don't know why that came up. And then G said, I was in higher ed a little longer than you, I'm sure. Wait, was that part of why you left? No, it wasn't part of why I left. No. That was not part of why I left. No. I don't mind going. Personally, I don't mind driving to work. That's part of it. Judicial. Yeah. And so I don't mind driving to work. On the sidebar, I don't mind. Cause we grew up in that time you were supposed to drive to work, but when the pandemic happened, people stopped going to work. The governor selects judges too. You just give me all the spill. I didn't know that either. My law firm probably gonna tell me that too. Look about Henry, you didn't know that? I'm like, bro, I don't study law. But you know what I'm starting to realize? Maybe I should study law. Because a lot of things in higher education is really lawful. It's starting to be law. Should take a class. I'm gonna probably recommend that for my graduate program. You should take a political class. You got a law firm? You know I ain't got no law firm, G. No, I don't got a law firm. Damn, who you think I am, G? But I do think, guys, I think like in my graduate school, I think they should add like not me giving the classes. Look, I'm giving recommendations. I think we should study like the higher ed political structure, like you just said, G. I think we should have that because we didn't take nothing on that. I believe I'm taking something like that now, but we haven't started breaking nothing down with government. And so, LOL, of course you don't. And G said, LOL, elf. I caught that elf. Of course you don't. And so, and then we should have a class about like law. Like we already read a lot of. Well, I took the initiative to read policies while I was while I'm in graduate school. I have that saved. So if we really come to something we don't know, I will crack open our Higher Education Act of 1965. I will crack it open if needed. That's why I say, guys, a lot of things in this just don't make sense sometimes with higher ed. And it's really on a like, we wait for the information and then we be like, this is what we doing, this is what we doing. It's weird out here. And G said, yeah, only policymakers and lawyers care to read policy. Really? I think it's good to read it too. And then when you read like that one, you be like, oh, that's why they do this. That's why banks and colleges work together. Then you be like, oh, I'm up on game a little bit. And then G said, I had a really good friend go to law school. She in FL now. I think it's because it's a look up kind of thing. It is. Yeah, only policymakers and lawyers care to read policy. LOL, sometimes lawmakers don't even read the policies. They supposedly write. Right. Like, you go to, like, guys, if you get a court case and you just go to court and you be like, well, and the policy right here, it said da-da-da-da. You bring that to court and you prove your point. You might walk out of there. Hey, reading is fundamental. That's all I can say. Reading is fundamental. So we know why Northwestern president left. All right, so my favorite one, real quick. Man, we just talked about this too. G said, yeah, you have to read to see what BS they hid in there. Read, but you gotta read. Gotta read between them lines. So, University of Phoenix plans for an IPO. Disclaimer, not a financial advisor. Not a financial advisor. So, this is completely higher ed. Not Northwestern. University of Phoenix plans for an IPO. Guys, University of Phoenix, if you ever thought about going there, is a for-profit institution. LOL, they go make bank. What? You already know, I already got my eyes on it. I'm like, it's under, I got it pulled up now. Where is it? Where is it? Don't run from me. Where are you? I have it pulled up now. Where is it? Where is it? I probably didn't took it away. Looking up stuff. Let me go to it. They're famous for loan fraud. Man, what? Let me tell you something about for-profit institutions, guys. Since I got G in here, we finna troll them. I think we talked about that. We did. We talked about, because I was like, Grand Canyon University, they have stock too. Grand Canyon has stock too. And I believe one of our people at the time, Alice Marie, told us that I believe she said somebody had a lot of loans from there. But Grand Canyon University has stock. And then G said, I'm sure that's how PH makes their money. PH. What's PH? Oh, hold up, PH. University of Phoenix? What are you talking about, G? As I look this up, University of Phoenix, IPO. So, oh snap. Did it go to another tab? It did. I didn't want to click on that, but I guess. So it's G said LOL, yes. G said, let me see. G said LOL, sometimes getting lackluster degrees. G said LOL, sometimes no, not that. Yes, you have to, no, not that. Underneath, no, not that. LOL, they gonna make bank. We did say that. And then G said they're famous for loan fraud. LOL. I think we talked about that before. I'm sure that's how University of Phoenix makes money. And then he said, LOL, yes. People signing up and spending the loan money or getting lackluster degrees. Yes. Because they're for profit, guys. They're literally about their money. Like, you can't say they didn't tell you. So it's gonna be under the so the college is owned. I believe they're owned under, according to Google. Google gave us a lot of information. The AI overview gave us a lot of information. But it says that they're the Phoenix Education Partners, which is filed under the name AP. Matter of fact, why am I reading this? Why am I about to go through the hassle of even reading this when I could just copy and paste it? Where is it? Apollo. Okay, it says the for-profit education firm owners are Apollo Global Management and the Feature Group. No, that got links in it. Let me go to see. That's one thing about AI overview. They put a lot of links and stuff, so I had to be careful not to send that to y'all accident. G be like, not you sending me a what do you say, I forgot what you call it, G. You know, you text it like that. It says Phoenix Education Partners filed for IPO with the Securities with the SEC, Securities and Exchange Commission. For my people who don't know that, that's the SEC. But it says it's going to be under the name of this, as I copy paste this, and then I'm gonna start talking why it's very this is very important. Very important. Very important. So that's the name it's gonna be under, according to Stanford. Base Renaissance Capital, which tracks IPO filings. So where else is that? Okay. All right. So I talked about this on the live screen recently, the last one. That University of Phoenix, so they were about to get bought by University of Idaho. University of Idaho was going to buy them, but it fell through. And then they said another school was going to buy them, and it fell through. So they pretty much just like, look, man, we just going to go IPO and get this money. And so they're looking to raise up to 100 million, which is nothing. I think they would get 100 million with no problem. And for all my people out there who are in the stock market, they're going to, let me just say this. They going, I don't know how they about to rig this up, but if you go to the University of Phoenix, watch this video. Watch this. Please watch this live stream before you go to University of Phoenix. Cause G going crazy over here, like, bruh, like. And then G said, all right, so G said, hold on, we loading. G, don't break the chat. The chat, like, hold on. All right, G said, don't buy the IPO though. I don't know if you know this, but IPO usually drop immediately after IPO. Yes, IPOs usually drop very quick. Disclaimer, not financial advisor. Yes, they drop immediately. That's like a fundamental rule. Never buy the IPO, which is an initial public offering. And you can also do a DPO, which is a DPO is a direct public offering. It's it's like a non-traditional way of going public. But cause that's what, you know, the company Palantir did. So it's like when Wall Street and them don't agree with the company, it doesn't get as much attention, in my opinion, as an initial public offering. So that's an indicator right there. And then I'm reading your comments too, G. So I'm going down the line. And then G said they're going public in a SPAC. Sounds like. What you mean? They're going public in a SPAC. Educate me on that, G. And G said they only advise for a friend from a friend, also not a financial advisor. That's only advised for a friend from a friend, also not a financial advisor. G is not a financial advisor either. And then G said, I wonder why all those fell through, LOL. Yeah, I wonder why too. Not surprised, I'm sure once they look more into the business. And then G said a lot of people just don't really know any other options for the kind of flexibility that comes with those types of schools. Very rare DPO. And look up SPAC. Okay, look up SPAC. Look up SPAC real quick. It's a financial tool. Okay. Let's try. Oh, I'm gonna type in SPAC financial tool. That companies use to go public. Oh, okay. It's a special purpose acquisition company. Explained. Interesting. I'm gonna use AI overview. I'm not gonna go into detail. It says is that what it is, G? Special purpose acquisition company? It took me to Investopedia. I feel like that's it though. Investopedia is really good. I love Investopedia. Or want to go very rare DPO, look at SPAC, it's financial tool that companies use to go public when they can't go the traditional route or want to under a different name or under different circumstances. Okay. Yes, they are kind of slimy. Okay, so that's it. So I'm gonna read the basic one line. So special purpose acquisition, explain examples and risk. Special purpose acquisitions have no commercial operations. They are formed strictly to raise capital through an initial public offering that it can then use to acquire or merge with another company. Didn't know that. Interesting. It says after a period of relative obscurity, they were most popular in the lead up to the 2007 through 2009 financial crisis. SPACs had a remarkable resurgence in the early 2020s with a record-breaking number of SPAC IPOs and mergers before quieting down in the mid-2020s. Interesting. I'm gonna read into that a little more. I did not know about that. This is per Investopedia, guys. We just read. You could take and learn with that, or go talk to your financial advisor. Because I'm pretty sure you might be surprised. Your financial advisor might not know about this. Do not be surprised. They should know, but you would be surprised if they don't know. So going back to the University of Phoenix. Why are we talking about this though? Because University of Phoenix is a for-profit institution, guys. They're very money-driven. Usually, when I see for-profit institution, it's consisted of Republicans, guys. That's not biased. That's just factual. One of the guys that just got brought into the Department of Education, actually, I really let me see if I can look up his name. He has a known track record of working at for-profit institutions, which a lot of people were skeptical about because they don't think he really. They're speculating that he doesn't really care about the students or what really can make the school higher education better. For example, that's what they were getting from it. I literally made a segment about him. Let me see if I'm home. If I don't find him in the next few pages, guys, you know me. I would just say, oh well. Because his name is... Oh, there you go, right there. On August 5th, we talked about Undersecretary Nicholas Kent. He has an Undersecretary Nicholas Kent, which you can find. That's the August 5th live stream. He has a track record working for-profit institutions. And so, but I did review him. I said, you study all people. I don't think you should disregard anybody. Number one rule, never underestimate the enemy. So, it's like a core value. Even like, don't disregard anybody. I think that's a big problem today with even political leaders. They don't study their competition, which actually helped my high school basketball team a lot because I used to study my competition. I don't care how good they were. I was gonna study you and find your flaw. And so, G right here said, "Ooh, how you pronounce that?" G made that word, their name, Ooh, I'm gonna just say CP made a lot of money from spats. I'm gonna look them up too. The 2020 to 2021 boom. Spats usually merge with shells. Also, interesting. I never heard of that person either. Let's see, I never heard of that person. And then we'll get back to the University of Phoenix. Guys, never go to a for-profit university. I'm not gonna say where you shouldn't go, but I can highly recommend where you shouldn't go. You asked me at school, I looked them up. I was like, I wouldn't go there. But if you want to go there, you know. But one thing about for-profit institutions, they, like G said, they have lackluster degrees. I don't even know where these people work sometimes. Like, I don't even know how they just pop up. Like, you will see like a lot of I hate to say this, but a lot of celebrities who don't understand higher education. I can't speak for K through 12. It could be the same thing for K through 12, but definitely higher education. You would see like very wealthy people who have money. They will open up a school, but then that school gets shut down. And usually their school is a for-profit. Prime example, Trump had a school like that. It didn't last long, but that's a common indicator right there. And so I don't know the real reasons why they do that. I know it's like a money grab or it's a back door, it's a loophole or something. Usually when they do that, open up a school. But you have to yeah, G said yeah, but it was a scam. It was scam Trump University. Yeah, Trump University. Like, it was literally, it didn't last long. I was like, I don't think it made it to a year. And so that's just really doing your due diligence, because most people don't really check to like see if a school is like, you know, like people think you can just go to college and that's it. Like, no, like it's so many, like the competition out here is getting so weird with higher education that you have people advertising like, oh, you have people out here advertising like you can finish school, like you can become a nurse, and like some schools are saying, look, you can become a nurse within 3 months. I don't want them touching me. So like you have to be careful. Then you have to know like if that's when you ask your people like who might be checking your blood pressure and stuff like, hey, where you went to school? Because if it's like a mom and pop place, for example, a doctor or a doctor office, for example, and they just hiring, just to hire, and be like, where you went to school? They might say something like, oh, I went to open my dresser. I went to open my dresser university. Like, what is that? This the same person finna check your blood or write you a prescription. Ain't no telling. So you really have to be careful these days. It's really, yeah, it's really don't they go cuss you out. They better not cuss me out. They better not cuss me out, G. I'm like, hey man, I'm just saying what people need to hear, man. I'm just saying what people need to hear. Like, us, G. We just saying what people need to hear. And so the University of Phoenix, man, they planning to go public. Of course, we're gonna keep getting updated, but I definitely had them on my radar. Definitely doing my research on it because, I don't know this is what makes me a little optimistic. I hope I don't see nonprofit institutions doing this in the future. Because all it takes is one person, guys, to bring this idea and start doing this in universities and 2-year colleges and stuff like that. Like really credible schools. Like, it's just something to keep in mind. Like if for-profit institutions are like, look, man, we're going public. But usually public schools are owned by the state. And I know you might say, well, that won't happen because they're owned by the state or they're owned by the government, blah, 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 blah. Man, anything possible now. And this is very theoretical, but this is very much possible. And I don't want to say that. G said public schools would never. Nice, they have to. Yeah. But the Phoenix doing an IPO is wild. Yeah, University of Phoenix is wild. And the price is actually, guys, just to give you a heads up and let you know. But private money, like you said, is already there. It's already there. And so, actually, I do want to bring a person on in the future, for sure. Bringing a person on and be like, what's going on with for-profit institutions? Like, how it go? In public schools through donations and paid research. Like, people tell me, like, all the time, like, when you go to a for-profit institution, they be doing commission-based stuff. Like, you can get commission. You can get bonuses. Like, even for-profit institutions, you get, like, how you got people that do admissions and recruitment? They get paid by the person they see. I heard they do like real business models. Like, look, man, you get this many people in to come to the school, you get this much money. I'm sure there's a reason they exist. It's a reason. You think it's a dark reason or a light reason, G? You think it's a light reason that they're here or a dark reason why? And so that's for-profit institutions. G said that's because they are business through and through. Yes. And I remember people and they sell degrees. They don't help you get them. They sell them. They like, look, I don't care how you get your degree, but you better get it. And then it was something I was just gonna say. I hear people talk about it. Every time I talk to somebody who worked at a for-profit institution, no, you better pay me. G said, no, you better pay me. Every time I talk to somebody who worked at a for-profit institution, like University of Phoenix, for example, they be like, man, I made good money when I was at an institution. Because for-profit institutions close down a lot. They close down a lot. Like, people don't, these schools close down a lot. And I talk to people, like, before they go to, like, a traditional and safe school that won't close down, they be like, man, I was making good money at that school. I was like, what was you doing? They was like, I was doing the same job. I was just making a lot more. I was like, that's crazy. And so, and G said, there is a dark reason, but mostly they exist to fill a gap in education. I never did a deep, thorough, like, research on for-profit institutions, personally. And so, I always wondered. And then at the time, at least, the gap was in flexibility. Okay, inflexibility. Let's look at University of Phoenix tuition and fees. Imagine watching another YouTube channel or something, guys, and they telling you Public and private nonprofit schools have their own darkness, LOL. They do. That is true. But we ain't talking about them right now. So imagine, like, excuse me. So that would keep you occupied. That would keep you occupied. I remember somebody asked me, like, would I run out of stuff to talk about higher education? I said no. Imagine going to watch another YouTube channel and they're saying, oh yeah, university. Imagine them talking about a for-profit institution is your best route. You can finish in this fast. You can finish in this fast of a time. I'll be like, what? Like what? And people be so see, people want to do things so fast. You can't shortcut education, bro. You can't shortcut this. This takes time. This takes, like, if you want to get strategic, this is how you become strategic, man. You can knock out something. Don't get me wrong. They do have where you can do 8-week courses. Yes, those are a thing. That's legit. Even traditional schools do that. But, man, I'm sure those videos exist for sure. And G said, not G. So the University of Phoenix, they got an associate's degree you can get in 5 weeks. A 5-week, like trying to get your associate's degree. I guess if you're on the path to get your associate's degree, they have 5-week courses here. Now, let me give you some insight for my people out there who probably don't know the difference. A typical semester is 16 weeks. A mini semester, we call it mini semesters in traditional schooling, or like 8-week courses. 8-week courses like from August to October. And then you have another one, and it can be from October to December. So those are like 8-week courses, which combined gives you what, 16. They're saying you can complete something in 5 weeks. But guess what they said? Look, the faster, but you got to pay us the money. The tuition and fees to do a 5-week course is $9,000. It's pretty much $9,500 plus books, plus transportation, all this other stuff, and housing. Oh, wow. All this other stuff. Look, they're saying, look, in 5 weeks, you're going to have a cost of attendance of $20,000 or $21,000. And would you believe me if I say people are taking out loans to do this? People are taking out loans to do this. G, what's that word you said? Predatory? Something predatory? This is, you said something, it was, this is like, it's something, not ignorance is blissful, but you said something like it's predatory. Like, this is like really, like, they're really like, these are sharks coming after you. You saying, oh, I can do it fast? How much? Oh, it's gonna cost you about $20,000. I don't got $20,000. Oh, it's okay. Just sign here, and then our bank will approve you. You okay? Literally, that's how they getting you. Because people, come on, man. The students that are going to these schools don't have 21 grand. You're not getting G to go to this school. You're not getting Henry to go to these schools. You're not getting exactly. They take the loan because they can. Look in your notes, Henry. And so let's see how much their bachelor's is. That was their associate's degree. I'm not near paying no 20 grand for a 5-week attendance. What? 20 grand? What are we doing? Come on, man. What are we doing? What are we doing? And guys, it's 5 weeks. So you might say, oh, that's good. No, 5 weeks is like, when you complete your 5 week, you have to do another 5 week. So like, just 5 week. Like, imagine if you do 3-5 weeks. And then you got to finish your program. That's like 60 grand right there. They charging you by the 5 week. They're not charging you by the, I don't know what you were thinking. They not charging you that way. Nah. They making the money. It's a for-profit institution. University of Phoenix going to the stock market. Who would have thought? Somebody need to play that meme. Look at this. Who would have thought? Look at this. Who would have thought? Man, y'all need to tell the radio stations, y'all need to tell the podcast to bring me on, man. Like people learning this difference right here, life changing information, man. Life changing information. And then G said, education is simply a commodity, especially in America. Ooh. Ooh. Education is a commodity. G said, LOL, who would have thought? Look at us, G. Look at us. Who would have thought? Who would have thought? G would have thought. Man, G said education is a commodity. Man, it is, man. It is. It's valuable, man. You know, G, I've been telling people lately, man, as I get to the end of graduate school, I want to do it again. Of course, I'll attend different schools. Let's talk about that real quick. I want to do it again. Like, I want to, like, go to college again. Not get a PhD, though, but, like, go through the undergraduate and do the grad school again. Because I know I can do this again and again and again. All I need is a part-time job. PhD? Okay, Dr. Henry. No, I ain't gonna do that. No, I ain't gonna sit here and say I won't. If I start picking that feeling up, I need to write more and research more and write. I will. You never know. But school is so like, you know, G, jump in, man. I know you got to type, but it's like, man, school is just like, it's fun. When you realize like you get so much information and like I know like when I get this information, I can apply it to real life. And so G said, LOL, I like college, never wanted to go back, but maybe when I'm wealthy for the sake of learning. Yeah, like you just get to learn. Like that's one of the things I will do too, is I'm gonna definitely bring on professors. I feel like that'll help professors a lot. Especially the freelance professors, they'll bring them on to talk for like good 30 minutes. Like give us some of that. You know, like they'll let the professors give us like a 30-minute like, hey, you got the floor as if you are the professor, and then we'll like I'm gonna be with y'all in the chat, like, hey, what y'all thinking? Like they asking that, like that's gonna help professors a lot. I think professors should really start YouTubing harder. What you think, G? I think professors should start YouTubing hard. Like 3 more years, you can do it. Yeah. 3 more years, you can. She really trying to get me to get a PhD. Nah, not right now. Not right now. We got to create an educational community. We got to help YouTube out a little bit. YouTube need to put some more education on here because YouTube University is killing their brains a little bit. Just a little. With the Instagrams and all that. Yeah, there are plenty of professors who do. Yeah. And then because we finna start a movement, man. This is a movement for sure. Because professors, like, yeah. Like, the way I take it in, I know I'm a nerd, y'all. It's okay. It is okay. Dang. Predictive history. What you mean, G? Predictive history. No filter professor. No filter professors is wild. You are a nerd. LOL. No, you a nerd, G. You a nerd. You a nerd. You a nerd. You see, I got my pajamas on. I had these since like high school, I think. And so, yeah. So what school should we do? That's a bad influence. I'm not going to review a for-profit institution, guys. If I do a for-profit institution, they going to get lower than an F. LOL, kind of. What kind of pajamas are those? They are, oh, you're saying Predictive History is a YouTube channel. Okay. These are like Looney Tunes. You got Porky Pig on here. So fun fact, my mom always bought my pajamas. She always bought me pajama pants. And she used to get them at Family Dollar. She still do. She get them at Family Dollar. For everybody out there who want to get some of these dope pajamas right here, who want to get some of these dope pajamas, you see Buzz Bunny on there? You can tell they look faded. But anybody want to get some dope pajamas? Family Dollar. They getting free advertisement. They be having some dope pajamas. Family Dollar be having dope pajamas. They be having some dope socks. Not you wearing high school pajamas. Man, come on, man. Yeah, I'm wearing high school pajamas. I ain't grow that much since high school, so yeah. Like, man, I got a whole bunch. I got like my girl got my Coca-Cola ones right now. I didn't want to wear them no more. I'm not a Coca-Cola like that. She like the Coca-Cola ones. Like Family Dollar got some dope pajamas. So if y'all want to go get some pajamas and this blow up, they be having socks, pajamas. Let's see what G said. G said, I'm actually the same size from high school though. Yeah, but me too. I'm kind of glad because I didn't have to buy that many new clothes. That was a plus. Plus, plus, plus. That was a plus, plus, plus for us, G. Because your boy was not trying to, I don't really spend stuff on clothes like that. I'll write down that YouTube channel. Yeah, man, I love pajamas. It's probably one of my things, actually. I think about it now. Definitely gonna be getting more just to have it. Themes and stuff, different themes. Like my mom, they got me the Valentine's on the sideboard. I pray they're like, why is he talking about pajamas? I still wear a jacket I got in the 9th grade. Dang, 9th grade. Gee, I think I know your height, and I'm not gonna say it as my main jacket. LOL. I got a jacket. You want to know what's funny? I got a jacket from 10th grade as well. Did your parents buy the jacket big and you grew into it? Because that happened to me. My mom, I got this black bomber coat. And I wear it often a lot to this day. What you trying to say? What's my height? LOL. I was going to say that because I was like, look, you listening to me now? Look. My mom bought me a big jacket at the time. It's a bomber coat. But I grew into it as I got a senior. She always bought my clothes bigger. So imagine how that looked growing up. Look good now. But back then, your boy was getting, as we say, roasted. Because I'm like, Mom, this is big. She was like, you're going to grow. She was like, you're going to grow. I'm like, you don't know that. Like, yeah, she got it big. But it actually is kind of big. Okay, yeah. So I figured, yeah. So you probably about the same height. You probably about 5'11", 6 foot, G. G said, I look good in mine. I don't know about you, LOL. You probably like, G, I guess your height, you probably like 5'11" and 6 foot. Let's see what G say before we pick a school to review. G probably like 5, 6. All you got to say is yes or no, G. Yes or no. You about either 6 foot or right there, like 5'11" and 6 foot. Maybe 6'1", 6'2". I don't know. Maybe not. That's a yes. That's a yes. That's a yes. G be catching on. G be like, he ain't finna get me. Get the height. Look, G think I be writing down pieces of information and be like, G think I be like, G think you ain't finna piece that together. I'm gonna catch you slipping, G. Day by day, I'm gonna catch you. All right, so what school you gonna review? What should I do? We done went on a whole tangent about pajamas. I love it. I feel like people don't wear pajamas. Do people still wear pajamas? Do people still wear pajamas? I'm sure you will be surprised when you see me. That's what I'm talking about right there. That's what I'm talking about. Do people still wear pajamas though? Pick us a new... All right. G said, I wear shirts, but as an adult, I still wore them. Let me see. I'm sure. Let me see. I know you said something else. Let me see if it came in. I wear shorts, but as an adult, I still wear them. Yeah, I feel like we need to talk about that more, man. Like pajamas, man, and they're sentimental. You know, like I said, I still got the ones my mom. She said basketball shorts, summer, winter, spring, fall. You wear basketball shorts that much? I wear a dang now like When I haven't played ball in a minute. When I say I don't play ball in a minute, I'll go months at a time playing basketball, and it is great to play basketball because that's how I get my connection sometimes. G said, yeah, for sleep. Yeah, LOL. Not LOL, but for sleep, yeah. Oh, that's interesting. That's interesting. And pajamas, they are, like I said, they're very, like, where is it? They're very, like, sentimental. I still got, like I said, I got all my pajamas pretty much from my mom, like, bought. And she keep buying them. So I don't think I'm ever going to run out. She going to keep buying them. And then I'm going to pick up the habit and just be buying pajamas as collectibles. G said, LOL, dude, I couldn't tell you two last time I picked up a basketball. I'm telling you, bro. Like, I put a time, and I put a time when I go to the gym to play ball, too. I put a time on because, you know, people want, man, let me tell you about basketball. You go to the gym, I'm not the type to get picked up at the gym because I'm not flashy. I can play, but I'm not like gonna score a lot of points. So people want to tell me this makes sense. This is how you know people don't know how to build a team. Everybody want to put all the scores on one team, and then while they're in the game playing, they're gonna get mad at each other because they all want to shoot the ball. And then it's like, why did y'all all get on the same team? It makes no sense. I ain't first pick, bro. I'm like either last. I'm last pick or I'm getting dropped because they homeboy came in the gym at the last second and I get dropped. I'm like, all right, bro. I'm just. G said, LOL for real makes no sense. Like, all y'all ain't gonna be able to shoot the ball. You know that, right? But that lets you know everybody can't build a team. That's why it lets me know that everybody can't build a team. You never know, G. Might make my career change. Might go be a coach and just win a national championship in college and then be out just to prove a point. Then G could be like, I used to watch that guy on YouTube. Why they do you like that? Man, I don't know why they do me like that. I don't know why they do me like that. G said, I don't buy clothes, but shed surprise me for Christmas. What you mean, but shed surprise me? What you mean when you say but shed surprise me for Christmas? What you mean, G? Oh, my mom was surprised. Oh, she was surprised me. Okay. My mom was surprised me. Okay. She's so sweet for that. My mom do the same thing, G. That's interesting. Oh, I was gonna say that. I just thought about clothes. My mom do the same thing. I was like, that's weird. My mom do the same thing. It's crazy. My mom do the same thing. Because I don't buy clothes. I don't buy clothes either. So my mom do the same thing. She buy me pajamas. She buys me like jackets. She buys me like, and she gets mad when I don't take it back home. Like to the apartment where I live. She gets so upset when I don't do that. She gets very, like and subscribe. She gets so upset at me. She gets so upset. I'm like, I'm sorry. I just left it. Like clothes, man. Like I already brought a suitcase and some stuff. Be a lot to carry back and forth to the car, man. It'd be like, I could get it next time. But yeah, clothes, man. Yeah, man. We don't buy clothes. Interesting. That's her saying you need something new, LOL. She like, why are you ungrateful, LOL? Not ungrateful, just like, I want you to save your money too, but I'm gonna take the gift. I don't want, it's clothes. Like, it's gonna, but I get it. You did like it. I get it. Yeah, to be like, yeah. Don't even say no. I don't even say no more. I'm like, I understand. I'm looking for my tab. Like I just didn't put this in on Google. I'm looking for my tab. Got so many tabs open. Hold on right quick. And the school we're gonna do, I don't think we reviewed this school either. For real, I don't like a lot of clothes. Man, I had to take some to Goodwill. That's how many, like, some got too small, but I had to take some to Goodwill. I don't think we reviewed this school either, University of New Hampshire. I don't think we did. I don't think we did. What's their logo? Yeah, we haven't done this. I hear about University of New Hampshire a lot, too. I hear about them often. University of New Hampshire, I hear about them often. We're gonna review them. We're gonna review them. I think they're expensive though. And then I'm gonna see what you said last, G, real quick before we start the college review. Uh, G said, for real, I don't like a lot of clothes either. I like to pick up and go. Yeah. And then G said, my town's so small, I didn't learn about official. My town's so small, I didn't learn about official donation centers until I was 16. Wow. That's really small. That's small. I ain't gonna lie. Even I knew about donations. Yeah, I knew about them donations. My mom be quick. I used to be like, man, I'm gonna just throw it away. And she'll be like, boy, don't throw them clothes away. I can give them to Goodwill. Or first, this is what my mom would do. My mom, she would call people. Like I got my hustler mentality from my mom. Still working on it. I don't got it like her to the fullest. I do, but I don't. And then G said Columbus is huge, LOL. To you is huge. To you is huge. To me, Columbus is, man, I was on one side of town my whole life. I was on one side. And what I tell people, this how you know I'm not from the good part. Go to Columbus. Go all the way past. Go all the way till you get to the near base. Get off on that exit. That's what I tell people. If you want to go to the night, you think Columbus, people think Columbus nice. I'm like, go all the way by the base. Don't go to the base. Go to that area. Go to that area. That's my area. Like food desert. I know we talked about a little bit about that. Food desert, man, lived off of mom cooked though. Mom could cook real good. But as I got older, you know, your boy was definitely getting that Little Caesars, that McDonald's, that Checkers, that Subway. That stuff is still not good for you. I can't even eat that stuff like that no more. Can't even eat it like that no more. Like, just got older and it ain't sitting with the stomach like it should. G said, as a southern woman, she better know how to cook. Ain't it? Ain't it? You eat with your hands, G? I don't know if that's too personal. But I know, like, my mom being, like, my family being from the South, they eat with their hands sometimes. Like, when they eat cornbread and greens, they mix it together, and they eat it with their hands sometimes. Checkers was a capital thing. Didn't know anything about it until high school. Man, yeah. Checkers, man. Checkers was the move. Checkers was the spot. Do I eat with my hands? LOL, yeah. Old folks do that where I'm from too. Oh, yeah, you a southern. You southern for real. Yeah, you southern for real. Yeah, you bit southern. Yeah, that was a personal question, Henry. I'm disappointed. I just said, do you eat with your hands? You could have said maybe, maybe not. No, that's not a personal thing. I know. You know, but I remember my supervisor at my last job said, Henry, you are from somebody south or you're from somebody in the deep south because you put your cornbread in your greens. I was like, everybody do that, don't it? And he was like, no. People who like not from the deep south or country don't do that. I'm like, I thought everybody did that. Like, I don't assume everybody do that, but I thought everybody like cornbread in their greens. Like, how you eating these greens like this? Like, you know, you get the greens, put a lot of hot sauce first, just a little. Then put the cornbread there. Then mash it up. Hey, how they say, the holidays need to hurry up a little bit. Getting a little hungry. Getting a little hungry. And so, where's New Hampshire? So we're going to do University of New Hampshire. It's in Durham, New Hampshire. My grandma greens tend to be a little spicy anyway. See, yeah, that's what I'm talking about right there. Gotta have a little kick to it. It gotta have a little kick to it. This the one we want right here. This the main campus. And you said something else, G. I'll let that kick in real quick. I'm looking for some. I'm not froze, guys. I'm not froze. G said I couldn't eat their northern corn bread. Oh, I couldn't eat the northern cornbread. It didn't hit the same. Northern, I would be disappointed if I ate somebody. I'm sorry, I have never ate nobody's food who's from the north personally and cooked it, but I don't think the north. This is a very big assumption. I don't think the north. I don't think their soul food would hit like the south. Like they don't even got sweet tea. It's iced tea. I heard it's really true. It's really iced tea out there. And G lived out there, so G definitely can fact check this. I just don't think it's gonna hit the same, unless the person came from the south and went up north to do their business, which would be kind of smart because you would have a unique soul food business in the north. It would be very smart, and they do some good foods. It's just not this. It's just not as hearty. Yeah, I had some good southern food. Yeah, sure, you better find one up there in New York when you was in school. My grandma was better, but she a southern woman. Hey, they need to know that. They need to know that, G. They need to know that. Southern women are different in the kitchen. Naturally, just different. Like, just naturally. So, real quick, we're going to do University of New Hampshire. They're a land-grant university in Durham. I appreciate that talk, G. I really do. I really appreciate that. I appreciate that conversation, man. I do. So, University of New Hampshire. Land-grant university in Durham, New Hampshire. The University of New Hampshire is a public land-grant research university with its main campus in Durham, New Hampshire. It was founded in 1866. It's located in Service Credit Union. That's weird. And then it says they get into the money part. We're gonna talk about that. And the president is Elizabeth S. Chilton. And yeah, that's pretty much about New Hampshire. But University of New Hampshire main campus, they have about, I would say, 11,300 students. It's a 4-year. It's public. It's in a town. They have a medium population of students. Their graduation rate is 78%. That's over the 58%. So they got a C average. I'm going to say it's about a B average. It's pretty good. They say the average annual cost, though, is about $23,000. Now, we have to go check the sticker price of the school. So, University of New Hampshire, tuition and fee rates. I always put fee rates now, because that takes me directly to it. So, do we know anybody who went to New Hampshire? I don't know nobody who went to the University of New Hampshire yet. As your boy keep growing, we start going to these conferences and stuff, your boy will eventually one day meet some people from these schools we review. I have some friends from New Hampshire. How you get so many network, but they went to Columbia? Oh, okay. I was about to say that too. I was like, how did you meet these many people that went to different schools? But okay. And so they're saying the undergraduate tuition and fees at the Durham campus. So I'm assuming they have different prices at different campuses. So, all right. So per semester, you're looking at about $8,000. So easily, they said for a New Hampshire resident, you're looking at $8,000 per semester. 8,000 plus 8,000 is 16,000. For my people out there who know how to do the per credit hour like me, they charge $665 per credit hour. I like to round it, so if you get a different number, that's because I round it. Now they're saying per semester you're looking at 16 grand. That is according to them. That is for the 2025 to 2026 school year. Of course, like when we keep going in years, which makes me have to be uploading these videos fast, your boy gonna have to go to a freaking binge of like reviewing these schools, because they're going to update their prices every year. So yeah, and then some we just might not get to, until we get an editor who can upload these things fast. But This is based on 2025, 2026. So the students who are at New Hampshire right now are paying 16 grand per semester. Now that does not include, this is tuition, that does not include their meal plans, room and board. I'm gonna just do tuition alone because, oh, okay, here they got the fees right here. I thought I was going to find the fees. So the fees are per year. The fees are $4,000. So 16, as I'm rounding it, 16,000 plus 4,000 is 20,000 already. And then they got mandatory fees, which is like your student activity. Hold up, 2025, 2026 for 12 credit hours. Okay, that's for like if you do 5 through 11. So if you do a full-time schedule, which most of you are, if you go to New Hampshire University, or University of New Hampshire, I don't know why I said that, but if you go to University of New Hampshire, you're looking at about 20 grand. The college scorecard said 23. So the sticker price not matching, because if you stay on campus, guys, you're easily going to be at like, you know me, I throw in an estimated 2 grand for room and board, which is very low. It's probably gonna be higher than that now. And then your meal plan is gonna be an estimated 2 grand, which is probably higher now. So if you add in the 2 grand, 2 and 2, that's 4. 2 and 2, that's 4. That's 8. So you're looking at about 28 grand on the sticker price. But that could be a lot higher. But the college scorecard, remember, goes off of, as I like to say and remind, they're factoring, I think they factor in sometimes if you're going to be a financial aid student or if you're going to have some scholarships. That's why they drop the average annual cost sometimes. But you're looking at about estimate of 28 grand. And G said the president of Tanzania went there. If I said it right. Did I say it right, G? Tanzania. And so if you do an estimate, we did an estimate, because remember, I always do on the low end, guys, because worst thing is worse. I can say an overprice and scare you off. But 28 grand, estimated 28 grand is still kind of scary. But 28 grand times 4 is $112,000 right there. And no, you did it. Tanzania. It sounds like Zania. Zania. Oh, Zania. So Tanzania. We'll come back to it. And then 112,000. So you're not having a good return on investment because, and it could be a lot higher. Because right here it says that the salary after being 10 years removed away from the institution, if you are a financial aid student, or I don't know why it says, they always say if you're a financial aid student. But in reality, you could be making like 67 grand, but you're gonna pay like 112 grand estimated. You could be paying more. I heard about you. Let's keep going before I get into that review. So I don't know. I'm not feeling it right now. I'm not feeling it. So as we talked about the graduation rate, they have a retention rate, or students who return after their first year is 86%, which is good. That's a B. So students come back after their first year. That says a lot. But the debt, you're going to have an average debt of 27 grand, rounded 27 grand. And it says 59, pretty much 60% of their students receive federal loans. That's a high number, guys. That's a really high number. They receive federal loans because the school is pretty pricey, as I'm suspecting. And the typical earnings, as we talked about, 67 grand, but you have an 81% chance of making more than a high school graduate. That's pretty good. That's pretty good. It's in your likelihood. And then the campus diversity, you can look at that if you want to. I always say, if you want to really know the campus diversity, go do a campus tour. That's my advice. Go do a campus tour. And then the acceptance rate here let me make sure I said it right, at University of New Hampshire main campus, their acceptance rate is 87%. That's very high. Because I thought this school was considered to be like really elite, but we're gonna get some intel from G. And so they consider the SAT, ACT during application process, but do not require them. You know me. Why I'm gonna say why they don't require them? Because they need students on them campuses. They need to get as many students as they can so they can make that money. But after that, okay, G was saying some stuff about who went to this school. Right now, this school is not looking promising. So I'm gonna see what G said. I'm gonna get some input from G. Consider some aspects, and then I'm gonna go look at their noble alumni. Did I leave that up? I did not leave that up. Of course I didn't. University. Let me see if they noble alumni. Oh, they ain't even showing they noble alumni. As it loads, let me let it load. Yeah, who's your noble alumni? Let's see. Let's see. See, one thing about editing, I could just go straight to the part. Oh, I'll rate them this. The president of Tanzania, LOL, not even slightly elite, LOL. Oh, it's not? I thought the University of New Hampshire. Oh, I thought University of New Hampshire was elite in that case. Because I'm looking at their noble alumni right now. I got John Irvin, I got Mike O'Malley, I got Natalie Jacobson, Jackie McCollin, like so on and so on, guys. I never heard of these people. Not even the athletes. I never heard none of these people. And I don't know. Yeah, okay. So with some input, they charging crazy prices to my students who go there. You can get it's a negative. I'm gonna get them a D. The only reason I get them a D because they sent the College Scorecard says that they can make some decent money. Like if they're saying in 10 years you can get about 66 grand. Now, granted, if you do a certain major, guys, if you always use the teacher example or art because teachers you can go to any school become a teacher, and you can go to any school and get art. And so well, let me be clear, art as in not arts of dancing, art as in people who paint and stuff and do all that type of art. I know it's different variances that art, but if you are going to this school to be a teacher and you're paying an estimated $112 when the average salary for teachers is not going to be high starting out, this school is, they will be an F in most cases, but they are D because the salary is pretty decent for people who are starting out. So not starting out, but in 10 years, that's a nice little salary, especially if you don't want too much responsibility or too low responsibility. You just want something smooth. That's a good number. At least for me, because like me, guys, I'm cool with a good 45K to. I'm good with a good 45K. Do I prefer that for the rest of my life? No, but I'm good with a good 45K to 60K max. 60K max. Nothing too crazy. But ideal. If my passions don't work out, ideal 55 range and above. So, which is great, guys, because I didn't even spend 55 on my education. That's included graduate school. I don't think I came out to 50K when you include graduate school. So, G said right here, I guess back like I said before, you have grown, which is not a bad thing. Yeah, they, I'm trying to get them some sympathy, but they are really not that. If I thought they was gonna be elite, G, I lean on you if a school is considered like, unless, ouch, 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 ouch. I didn't have ouch. My nails. That was my nail caught me ouch. Like I said, if I know a school is, how can I put it? If I know a school is elite and I know they're known for doing some good work, yeah. But if I never heard of you, like University of New Hampshire, I just hear about commercials. And usually when I hear commercials, no offense, that means you're trying to get me to notice you to go there. So commercials ain't bad, but they be pushing hard on commercials. University of New Hampshire. And shoot, I think they got an agreement. They got some agreements with schools. For my articulation agreement, people out there, if you're considering to transfer from a 2-year to a 4-year, articulation agreements. But I think they got those too. Huh. Interesting. Okay, that's all. We did 2 hours today. We were supposed to do 1 hour and 30. But when we got people in the chat, when we got our star players in the chat like G, it helps us. It does take us over time a little bit, but it's a good thing at the same time. Like and subscribe. We're supposed to live stream tomorrow, but your boy has to drive tomorrow. Military obligations. So if you're looking for me, I'll be in the sky looking at you somehow. So remember, I'm everywhere. I am everywhere. I'm everywhere you're at. Remember that. JK. But no, seriously, I do be watching. GOV type stuff. Yeah, I think you said that before. Yeah, you gotta do some traveling. So, do I want to take the equipment? I don't know. I'm debating to take the equipment. I'm debating. We'll see. So tomorrow possibly, because your boy got to work 7 days straight. We grinded, man. We got to work 7 days straight, Saturday and Sunday. So if not, we will be on Tuesday as normal, and Thursday like we do consistently, and then we'll be on for sure that Friday of next week. So appreciate you, G. I appreciate everybody who stopped by the live stream, and yeah, the show goes on. G said, I'm tired of you. I'm tired of you. Oh, you're tired too? You're tired too? I bet you are tired too, G. Closing all them deals. You don't be sleeping. It's 10:33. You don't seem like you close to sleeping at all. Get some sleep. Get some sleep. Get some sleep. And yes, peace, chicken grease. If you don't got the shirt yet, it's okay, because I'm going to wear the shirt. I'm not selling nothing. I'm not charging you guys nothing. I'm not going to charge you nothing. Yeah, tired too, LOL. Yeah, I'm not charging you guys nothing. Why? That's how pure, look, that's how, since 3, that's how pure this movement is. This is how confident we are that when you started a 2-year and bridge to a 4-year, it saves you over $10,000 and more. It's a fact. Jack. It's a fact. It's a fact, man. It saves you $10,000 and more. When you don't get a meal plan, you don't get you don't stay in the dorms, you save $10,000 and more. 2-year to 4-year. Do I say it every time? I don't say it as much, but definitely when them interviews come, when them interviews, we're gonna be saying that a lot. LOL, making a little money ain't gonna hurt. Yeah, LOL. Nah, not yet, man. Not yet. When we get the movement, then yeah. But it's like just me and you most of the time, G. Why would I try to get money from you, G? But you giving this good sauce for free. Exactly. Like, it's just me and you, G. Like, why would I do that? Like, you already helping a lot. Like, what, charge you? Really? Like, come on now. That's bad business. That's the proof on concept. It's proof on concept. G, y'all heard? G a ghostwriter for Drake. If y'all didn't know that. Yep. G a ghostwriter for Drake. GB, that's why GB so poetic. When he be saying those terms and words and phrases, G be writing for Drake. Yep. So if you want to find G, that's how you find G. Let me stop playing. JK. But for sure, if y'all don't see us tomorrow, you will see us Tuesday of next week. Be safe. Don't do nothing bad. Don't do nothing bad over the weekend. No DUIs, no drinking. Please think for others. Have a DD. And it's okay to stay in the house. I stay in the house. It's okay to stay in the house. But we will have to network to expand the business upon graduating. And then G said, how you know I may be actually a ghostwriter, LOL? I know, G. I know more than you think I know. Maybe I already know who you are. And I'm just playing the script. Is there a holiday or something? No, I don't think it's a holiday. Is it a holiday or something? No, it's not a holiday or nothing. People just like to have fun. And, you just got to tell people to stay safe. Don't drink and drive. So, I feel like people don't say that no more. I never heard nobody say that on the live stream or nothing. So, I'm telling you, that's why I tell my troops, don't do nothing. Don't drink and drive. Don't do none of that. Don't do none of that stuff. Be responsible. I doubt you know who I am. I'm sure you'll be surprised. Now, I know who you are. You just don't know. I know who know you are. Yeah, see? Yeah, I know. All right. But peace, chicken grease, and we'll be seeing you soon, everybody. LOL, you stay in the house. LOL, I do stay in the house a little bit. Just a little. But I'm going to get outside when I graduate. You're going to see how I get outside. We'll be posting that when I get outside. Peace, chicken grease.